Good day, softball fans. Welcome to West Beach Diamond 1 here on beautiful Ghana land. We are here for the very last regular season broadcast. Gentlemen, thoughts on the day, thoughts on the season, thoughts on the game we're about to have?
Hi Dave, hi Lee, hi everybody. Yeah, we've had a fairly entertaining game just before us with Sturt coming from behind to unfortunately put an end to the Hills season. So that means that Walkerville now know that they're locked into that semi-final on Wednesday night against Port Adelaide. So for them, I'm assuming there's going to be a fair bit of fine-tuning and making sure that they're ready to go. West Torrens, their game's a little bit further away. They've got Sturt in the first semi on Saturday night. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I think both teams will be more looking forward than what they're actually doing right now. So
now this is, in some scenarios, potentially a finals matchup. So Walkerville will play Port Adelaide in the elimination game. West Torrens will be playing Sturt in the qualifying final. So if West Torrens lose against Sturt, then they'll go through to the preliminary, and then if Walkerville beat Port Adelaide, then this could potentially be a preliminary final matchup that we might see.
Absolutely, it could be.
Alternatively, if West Torrens go straight through and then Walkerville take the whole hard road, then this could be the grand final matchup. So nothing on the slate immediately, but both these teams could potentially see each other in the postseason. We're just about ready to go. On the mound for the Walkerville Cats is Michaela Yankovic, leading off for the Eagles, Amber Hood. First pitch in. Hi. So Lee is just a little bit busy at the moment, but he'll be with us in just a second. For the meantime, let's quickly run around the diamond. Or Lee, are you just about ready to run around the diamond for us?
Yes, I am.
Let's do it.
At first base is Jenny Gray, second base Desi Giamarellis, third base Sophie Roberts. Shortstop Steph Collette. Outfield from left to right, Kelsey Barker, Bianca Ramsey, Erin Reid. Michaela Yankovic is pitching to Chelsea Robertson, and they have a DP, and that is Riley Moore for pitcher.
Thank you, Lee.
Michaela Yankovic.
All right, so that's a 1-1 count here for Amber Hood. That one low for a ball. Gets a piece of that one, pops up foul. Brings the count to 2-2.
So Amber leading off for the Eagles with a 506 on-base percentage, batting .400 for the year. So she's also scored 22 runs, which is around about 20% of all of the Eagles' runs for the year.
She's done very well, hasn't she, Amber, since coming across from the Hills heat?
Recruit of the year, I would think.
That one inside for a ball, brings the count full.
That's what you like from your lead-off, don't you?
She works a lot of walks, doesn't she?
Yep. Get your money's worth when you're batting one.
Yep. 13 walks and 9 strikeouts for the season.
Gets a piece of that one. It finds the gap. It's going to run through the outfield to Kelsey Barker. Amber Hood steps on first. The Eagles have a leadoff runner.
Yeah, good patient batting, great lead off, a lot of pitches, and then just found space in the hole between short and third. And the Eagles have their lead off on, which is always a really good positive sign.
So that brings to the plate Alicia Marshing. What do we know about Alicia?
Well, she's been up in the country, isn't she? That's where she's been working. So she's been made a couple of appearances, I reckon, a couple of 3 this year. So she was a regular centre fielder for the Eagles over the years. So she can play a fair bit.
Yeah, she's only been part of 4 games so far this season.
Yep.
Watches that one high. She was well solidified as one of the starting 9 in the previous years when she was available from week to week.
Yeah, well, last year she played 9 games, batting .238, so...
Watches that one in for a strike.
In the lineup today, covering for the injured Jackie Beale.
Yes, Jackie got hurt at first base running through there, and the throw was a bit wide and collected her. She got a bit of an ankle injury, I believe.
Amber Hood taking a big lead off there. Pick-off attempt by Chelsea Robinson, but Amber just sneaks back in time. Do we have stats on steals?
So neither side, West Torrens have done 23 for the season, and ironically, Amber Hood has 11 of them.
Tells you something, doesn't it? 50% of them.
I think more concerning, or whether or not it's more respect shown, that as far as the put-outs go as caught stealing, Walkerville have only caught the 1 attempt so far this year.
Gets a piece of that one.
That's
It's going to blow up. No,
Oh, no,
Desi G. Morales tracks that one well and turns it into a double play. No one was expecting the catch there, but Desi G. Morales tracking it back, gloves it, heads up, throw to first, double play.
Yeah, not much Amber could do there. I mean, it did, the way that it came off the bat, it did look like it was going to fall in. She's got to protect herself in the case that the ball spills. So she's got to make some sort of way towards second. So she was, nothing Amber could have done in that situation. She did that as well as she could.
It looked like it was a hit and run attempt to me.
So that brings
brings
to the plate Lana Kaesler. Now with no one on and 2 out. Gets a piece of that one. It's heading deep into the outfield. Decent attempt there by Kelsey Barker, but it just bobbles out of the glove. Lana Kaesler rounding second, going to third. Play at third, but Lana Kaesler slides in. Loose bowl, scooped up by Chelsea Robinson. Lana Kaesler stays at third.
Yep, pressure on the relay there coming in, so throw a bit wild, but good base running. Good shot, good piece of the ball.
Desi G. Morales' double play coming in big right now. That would have been potentially an RBI for Lana Kaesler, but instead now we've got runner on third with 2 out. Brings to the plate Steph Cruzinski. First one in for a ball.
So Steph, 333 with runners in scoring position.
Gets a piece of that one. That is going to go through the gap. Brings home Lana Kaesler. Steph Cruzinski standing up on first with an RBI.
Yeah, good batting by Steph. She's normally fairly aggressive in the count early, but she's found the right pitch there and not overextended. Just put the ball hard into play and scored the go-ahead run. Take her RBI total to 18 for the season, one behind the Eagles' Sophie Hall with 19.
Kelsey Barker's already in the play now for 3 plays out of 4. Need to shut this down a bit.
So up to the plate now is Kelsey Nucky. That one in for a strike. Change up there by Michaela Yankovic. Gets Kelsey Nucky chasing after it for a strike.
It was a goodie, wasn't it?
They always perplex me, the change-ups, especially when it's like Yo Grauer's double change-up. It's coming in so slow that it just must... that one high. You got to know that you shouldn't swing at it. But it's just so there and plump that you have to.
Too long to think about it, that's the problem.
Doesn't chase after that one in the dirt for a ball.
So even with 2 out here, Steph Cruzinski has scored the most amount of runs for the Eagles. She's super fast base runner. So Cats still need to be switched on here to try and close this up before it gets any...
Gets a piece of that one out to Kelsey Barker, who camps underneath this one for the out.
Yeah, good catch by Kelsey out there at left field. And another good clean piece of the ball by Kelsey. So one thing that's, I suppose, fairly evident so far today with the Eagles is that they've been watchful in the counts. They haven't... they've been having a look at some pitches, so they've been trying to find the best pitch that they can find in the count, which is good batting, especially this time of year. So, and they've all had good pieces of the ball there.
They have, and 5 batters came to the plate, and 4 of them hit the ball out the left field, which is a good sign for the Eagles.
And the one that hit it to right field hasn't played a lot of softball this season.
Yes. That's a very valid point there, Anthony.
So...
Where's the great man? He's coming back. He's here.
So they've met 4 times so far this season, with West Torrens winning 3 and Walkerville winning the first game that they played all the way back at the start of the year, which was in round 2 when they, the Michaela pitched a win 10-6 against Harper Bridley on the mound for the Eagles that day. And then since then it's been all West Torrens, 8-1, 6-0. And 4-2 a couple of weeks ago, though that 4-2 was Walkerville jumped early, and then West Torrens just ran them down to draw it up. There was a home run to tie it up at 2-all, and then Mary Fuss came in late from memory and put the ball into right and scored a couple of runs. So I think the one thing that's really going to be difficult for Walkerville today is that Steph's pitched 11 innings against Walkerville so far this season for 27 strikeouts, which roughly equates to about 80%. She's retired when she's pitched. She's been fairly dominant, and obviously Chelsea Robertson, Steph Collette and Erin Reid are the only people that have got hits against her so far. So they're going to need to find a way to get some bat on ball.
Yeah, it's just stringing a few hits together. That's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Against the quality of Cruzinski, that's a very difficult call.
And this time of year, Steph's, she now knows what she's got in front of her. She's got a semi-final in a week's time to book herself a place in a grand final or to have to go to a prelim. So the preparation for her is well and truly on.
Yep. And they know what it's like. They've been there a few times.
Yeah. Chelsea Robertson leading off for the Cats. One of the only 3 players that have had a hit off of Steph so far this season.
No surprise.
And she's had 2.
Mm-hmm.
Good aggressive piece of the ball there by Chelsea, just foul down the right field line.
That was going, travelling at a rate of knots.
Yeah, 2 balls, 1 strike. It was interesting listening to Steph in the earlier game and commentary talking about her picture as a job is to not throw strikes. So, but to obviously try and get batters to swing at pitches that makes them get out. So, but she's got the firepower when she wants to get you out. She can sort of
And that's why it's so imperative that the batters are aware of what sort of pitches she can throw. So when you get in there and you get ahead in the count as a batter and Steph's behind the count,
Yep.
I'll guarantee she'll throw a strike to get back in the count. Any pitcher will. So you just need to be armed with that when you're in the batting box.
So full count on the Walkerville lead off Chelsea Robertson. Good batting by Chelsea as she's laid off the last 2 pitches, which were both high.
Good start for the Cats.
Yeah. But just as important as the positive starter for getting the lead off early, they've got to be able to execute whatever their plans are going forward here. So you've got Amber Hood in only her second game at third base for the Eagles, covering for Sophie Hall today.
I'll be going short here.
Gets a piece of that one, but it goes foul. Gentlemen, let's talk stars for a little bit. Who would you have? So both Chelsea Robinson and Amber Hood lead-off walkers for their respective teams here, get on base. Who would be the lead-off for the Stars, do you think?
Depends who's playing in what position. I think Amber will play at second base, and I think Chelsea will play in the outfield because I think Sarah Tonkin will catch. That's just my own view of the team. I've seen the team list.
Swing and a miss. Steal attempt here. Oh, my word. Lana Kazler just making sure Chelsea's okay, but that was solid effort to glove the ball and then attempt the tag, but Chelsea Robinson in there safe.
Smart base running.
Oh, just glove got caught in the dirt, but she was trying to make a bit of a specky aerial move there, Lana Kazler. That one in for a ball. So Steph Collette now with a runner in scoring position.
So Steph Collette batting .339 for the season for Walkerville.
Had a good year with the bat, hasn't he?
Yeah. And she's done a very good job of, when people have been on, just putting the ball into play.
Yep.
So her runner, she's batting .412 with runners in scoring position, such as this.
Pops that one up. That one's just going to drift off foul. So runner on second for Steph Collette. That one in for a ball.
Good mix by Steph there. She's been high in the count for both first 2 batters. Definitely pitching up, challenging the hitters to chase. And that one was just low and away curve, so good mix.
Yeah, she knows the good batters.
Gets a piece of that one, but that one is going to drift foul.
Comes back hard inside.
So we're still on a full count here for Steph Cruzinski with a runner on second. Swing and a miss. Steph Collette strikes out.
Yeah, great pitching by Steph.
So that's the first out for the inning. Brings to the plate Desi G. Morales.
So Desi batting .259 for the Cats this season.
Oh, that one through for a ball.
Still only 1 out, so
So extracting a run out of Steph Cruzinski is definitely probably one of the harder things to do in South Australian softball. How would you go about it in this situation as that one comes in for a ball? Chelsea Robertson taking a big lead off, but back safe on second.
Yeah, well, it's a really good question, and it's a very difficult thing to do. There's no magic secret to it. If there was, everybody would. But she's proven all year with her ERA.
Gets a piece of that one. It is going to go foul, though.
With an ERA of under 1, she doesn't like to give up runs. So, yeah, I mean, I think your message to your hitters obviously would be to not let her dictate the count. So, obviously that's easier said than done, but you want to be aggressive. You want to be able to know that she's going to throw around the plate. She's not going to throw through the plate. So you're going to have to open up the inside and outside corners.
That one through for a ball.
Her faster pitch, from what I've seen, I think is that inside one on her on your hands, where she sort of does challenge you to sort of, if you're good enough to get after it, which Sturt did a couple of weeks ago when Bell and Maddie both got shots.
That one popped up. It is potentially catchable, but just going to drop in front of the fence halfway between Carly Allen and Amber Hood, who's playing at third base today.
But, I mean, that's just talking about two batters in the course over a season that, you know, had a couple of hits back-to-back. But, you know, she's thrown 77 innings. She's faced over 300 hitters, and she's retired 127 of them. So it's, yeah, she's a dominant pitcher. But it wouldn't be easy. It wouldn't be easy.
Well, my favourite thing about just how impossible that whole scenario is, just getting ball in play off of Steph Cruzinski is going to be hard enough. Like, she's perfectly capable of bringing out a whole lot of strikeouts. And as we saw last week, when the game was played with only one strikeout and one walk for the entire game, it wasn't a hit bonanza.
No, it wasn't.
Because once you get contact on that, as Desi Vijay Morales just fouls that one off, you've then got to try and get through two of the best defenses in the league as well.
Yeah, true that. So, I mean, obviously the advantage of facing, I suppose, the second pitches and third pitches in a team is that you are looking at the paces off a bit, so you can set your hands and see a bit more of the ball. But when you're facing...
Strikes out.
When you face the elite, such as this, so Chelsea Robertson gets on as a lead-off, and then Colette and Jim Morales come to the plate, both quality batters, and she strikes out both of them. That's the difference, and that's why she's a Kath Corral winner. I'm looking forward to seeing her play for the Stars in the Gillies Shield League.
So Steph Collette swaps out with Chelsea Robinson on second with the catcher speed-up rule. Up to the plate now is Sophie Roberts, now with the task of bringing in this runner without an out to spare, so sacrifice play no longer an option. She's going to need to put that ball into the outfield or just get on base herself in a safe manner. Swings through that one.
Sophie was one of the players that I'd done some homework on leading into this with Sophie Hall, but then unfortunately Sophie Hall's not here, so it's sort of all a bit null and void. But her numbers since Christmas have been on the down, not significantly, but in the role that she plays in this lineup.
Check swing. We're just going to ask the question. No swing.
It's no secret that Walkerville's ability to score runs, a lot of them come off the end of her bat, and when she's not doing that, they don't score as much, and they can struggle. So
swings through that one. Oh, there's a Steph Collette had a big lead off. It wasn't an aggressive steal attempt, but she just kind of was third base, not really guarding the position. How did that come about?
I'd like to look at the replay of that. I'm not too sure.
I think as we get a strikeout here, so it's all for naught.
I think they may have thought it was strike three.
I think it was.
That's what I'm thinking.
It didn't strike me as a full-blown steal, so. But I could be wrong, so.
The defense thought it was strike three, I thought.
But again, like we just spoke before about Steph's dominance, and after an early lead-off, 3 strikeouts.
All right, well, after one inning, West Torrens have a 1-run lead. We will be right back after a short break. Danny Baskai leading things off for the Eagles in the top of the second. It is round 18, the final round of regular season games. We are watching the West Torrens Eagles taking on the Walkerville Cats, two finals-bound sides. This, however, cannot change any of the outcomes of any of the placements, so it is a bit of a dead rubber. But that being said, it's an opportunity for both teams to make some final preparations, final fine-tunes. Steph Cruzinski is pitching, so West Torrens aren't hiding their star pitcher either.
So Daniel Baskai batting 256. Batting a little bit higher in the order today, obviously with Hoyle not there, and
Jackie Beale.
So this is Danny's first year with the West Torrens Eagles, isn't she?
Yeah.
Where did she come from?
Queensland. Played with the Heat up there.
Watches that one in high.
So Yankovic here, good call by Chelsea because...
Yeah, she's just lost the handle on it at the moment, hasn't she?
Well, since she's introduced that first change-up, since then,
Yep.
there hasn't been not another change-up since then that's actually not landed in the dirt. And I suppose the rule of thumb is if you're going to throw a bad change-up, throw it in the dirt. Don't let it just sit over the plate and vanish over a fence.
Yep.
Yeah, but she's just lost a little bit of confidence with it at the moment, and it seems to have adjusted her radar a bit elsewhere. So good timeout by Chelsea to hopefully just reset her young pitcher with instant results.
Gets a piece. That one, it's popped up. Chelsea Robertson chasing after it. But that would have been one spectacular catch if that one came off.
Yeah, that was a great effort by Chelsea. It was up super fast and had no fear of the fence. If she could have got it, she would have taken that. So.
She did slide into the fence. We felt a little bit pushed back on our commentary table here. Gets a piece of that one. That is heading into the outfield. Chasing after that is Bianca Ramsey. Danielle Baskai stands on first for another leadoff. That is a leadoff for every inning so far.
It is, and as a coach, that's what you want. You want your lead-off on because it opens up everything you do. Brings Mary Fuss to the plate, playing second base today as Amber Hall over at third, batting 216.
She's been bringing in a couple of RBIs of late, though, hasn't she?
She has.
Yeah, since Christmas, she's definitely had. Well, she influenced the result of the last game when it was 2-2. So
we really should have two stats: the season stats and the since Christmas stats, because they can often be quite different numbers.
Misleading, I think, is the word you're looking for.
Chases after that one, change up, getting another strike.
So that little chat from Chelsea has definitely helped reset Michaela's radar.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes is the count. Change up again, 2 in a row. Gets Mary Fuss chasing for a strikeout.
It's the one thing being back at softball after so long away, Lee, but I'm still struggling to figure out the amount of times a runner at first with none out and nothing happens.
Yep.
It's just like, I don't know if it's trying to be, too creative or, trying to make it harder than it is, or...
Well, as a coach, it's very frustrating.
That one in
as
the
you
dirt.
know, Anthony.
Yeah.
Just play the percentages.
Yeah.
Get that runner in the scoring position.
I mean, Carly Allen's batting .342 for the season. She's batting .467 with a runner in scoring position. So you've just sent a player to the plate, no advancement, and the runner's still at first with one out.
Yep.
So instead of Carly trying to hit a single to bat in a run here, Carly's now trying to advance a runner from first with one out. And
Yep.
we're at the bottom of the line. I must confess, it's different than it used to be.
I think the phrase I'm looking for is mind-boggling. Well, that's the idea, isn't it? One base at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So what went wrong with the Mary Fuss at bat then?
Just didn't like change-ups. She was through with her hands. And that's why that's why Chelsea called back-to-back ones. Saw she had trouble, knew that she was going to have a swing, whether it hit the deck or not. She did.
It's a bit of an unwritten rule when you get a change-up and bunt in on a change-up. Obviously, you pivot, your first and thirds are going to see, they're going to have a lot longer to set up and see what's happening.
Carly Allen gets a piece of that one. It is going to drop fair in front of Erin Reid. Advances the runner. West Torrens Eagles have a runner on first and second.
Good batter, Carly Allen, batting a long way down at 8.
Yeah.
So that brings to the plate the number 9 batter, Harper Bridley. So if Harper can get on here, we're looking good for the West Torrens Eagles as we flip back over to the top of the lineup. Amber Hood coming in next.
Well, they've got to get Harper out, don't they? Make it 2 down.
Puts down the bunt. Scooping that up is Sophie Roberts. Takes the lead off, but no one was covering second. Bases are now full. Bit of a fielding blunder there by Walkerville.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
So Sophie Roberts came in to play, collect the ball, field the ball. Steph Collette running over to cover third, I'm guessing. Let's get that replay one more time if we could. In half speed, perhaps.
At worst, even if that's the case, though, she's trying to, you at least want to get an out in that scenario at the very least if you can't get the lead runners.
Another percentage play.
It just didn't seem like there was any coverage, not only at second, but I don't think anybody was at first ready for it. So, but to throw the ball with nobody there, that's
so base is now loaded for Amber Hood.
And scarily, still one out.
Watches that one low for a ball. So West Torrens have the opportunity to really blow things open right here.
Yeah, so Amber 400 on the season. She's 333 with runners in scoring position. It doesn't happen to her that often because normally she's the one that's getting batted in. So, but the top 5 Eagles hitters, 4 of them did pull the ball hard to left field in the first innings.
Yep.
So she went in the hole last time between short and left, in between short and third base. So plenty of space at centre and left. I reckon that's where she'd be looking at the moment.
Leaves that one be for a ball. So Walkerville in a little bit of trouble here. What's Chelsea Robertson going to be calling with 3 balls?
Her go-to pitch, I would suggest,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
if you've fallen this far behind in the count, you just can't afford to walk it. You've at least got a chance at now.
So that one in for a strike brings the count to 3-1.
And you can't just rely on the change-up. You've got to be able to be a little bit more aggressive early in the count, especially against the good hitters.
You've got to have one pitch that is going to be your go-to pitch in this game.
That one called a strike. Amber wanted the walk. So that brings the count full.
So still one out. So we're still looking at third base tagging and runners at 1 and 2, seeing where that ball falls into play.
Amber Hood swings through this one, just nicks it for a foul. Count is still full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bases full, 1 out. big moment early in the game. Here's the pitch. That one high for a walk. Amber Hood walks to first, and Baskai steps on home. That is another run for the West Torrens Eagles. Bases still loaded, still one out. Stepping up to the plate now, Alicia Marshing.
Must get her out here, the Cats, because there's Kaisler, Cruzinski, Nucky, and Baskai coming. Make it 2 down at least.
First one in for a strike.
And I definitely don't want my pitcher doing that on Wednesday night either. Getting to a situation where the bases get loaded is one thing, but pitching a walk that scores a run, especially coming up into a final week series, not ideal. So I'd be very interested in the debrief of how that all came about and why it came about, and making sure that we learnt from that and didn't let that happen again.
That's right.
So Alicia Marshing behind in the count, 0-2.
Earn runs is the only thing that you can take.
That one pops up foul. Count remains 0-2. So the advantage to the Cats is they have fielder's choice. A ball on any base, if it stays in the dirt, will get an out. Double play can also end the innings as Alicia Marshing watches that one high and inside for a ball. 1-2 is the count.
Message at Premier League level, though, especially if you're infield, is we're not just looking for fielder's choice at this particular point. The play's home. We want to stop that run. If we can get another out after that, great. But
well, that being said, a double like second and third or third and first, get the double play, you get yourself out of it. As Alicia Marshing step on third, step on first for a double play. Very topical right there.
I think I'll just let you call it from here on, Dave.
Had to cut off me talking about how a double play will get them out of it. Well, that was good, only allowing 1 run, which came from a walk, but 2-0 is the scoreline as we head to the bottom of the second.
Yeah, a weird innings, like opportunities for West Torrens there, but just... I think I liked their first innings a bit more when they were just hitting that left side lead.
Yes, I go along with that.
But the question that needs to be answered, of course, is how do we score against Steph Cruzinski?
It's a very, very good question.
It's something that they have not done this year. And 4 of every 5 batters that get sent to the plate against her, she sends them back.
Well, you're chasing 2 runs. You just need to play some percentage plays here. Get somebody on, bunt them around, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. And again, it sounds like we're always just saying that it should be just a bunt. I mean, hit and run, granted, it's got a place. Run and hit's got a place. But even just the way that your batter addresses the plate, shortening up before they get there, the 2-strike methodology where you see batters bring the bat over the plate. If that's something that makes you feel comfortable on 2 strikes to protect the zone, do that earlier in the count.
Yep.
You know, because the object is to get on base. So,
just when you go into the bat now, you've got to be thinking the Walkerville Cats think, I've got to keep in this count, and when I get ahead in the count, I'll go short or I'll go hit and run. Or we'll go still. You know, we'll just
well, that's the
test Carly's arm out.
That's right. That's if you don't put them under any pressure, then you're just walking into what their game is. As I said before, when you look at Chelsea's run against stats, like people have just not run against Walkerville because of Chelsea Robertson's arm.
Yep,
that's it. That's a huge plus. You know. You're relying on the opposition now to either sacrifice an out to not take the risk. Now, you know, if after 18 rounds of softball where everybody plays so many games, I mean, you've got to ask the question, I think.
I think your role as a coach also is that you just can't let
Riley Moore gets a piece of this one to Lana Kaesler, and the lead-off streak has been ended in the bottom of the second. That's one out.
You just can't let the game flow along to their satisfaction, as you just mentioned. So your job as a coach is to try and make something happen. Give them something they're not expecting.
Yeah. I mean, West Torrens, sorry, Lee, I was just going to say, West Torrens are batting 269 for the season. Walkerville are batting 261.
There's not much difference.
So there's not a huge amount of difference.
No.
Now, the difference comes... the difference comes from the fact that Walkerville have scored 77 times and West Torrens have scored 120 times.
So that brings to the plate Bianca Ramsey.
But
Watches that one in low.
But Walkerville, to their credit, they missed Sophie King. Sophie King's one heck of a player, isn't she? She's your lead-off. She's a terrific fielder, can run the bases, can do short game and everything. So, unfortunately, she's obviously working.
This one straight through to Lana Kaesler. Throw to first for the out, and that is 2 up, 2 down for the West Torrens Eagles.
We have some very good shortstops in our competition, haven't we, this season?
Yeah. So Sophie King, 21 from 66 for 344 and scored 19 runs, which is the most of any Walkerville player.
Yeah, there you are. There you are. That makes a heck of a difference.
Take a third of their offense out and...
Kelsey Barker at the plate now, swings through the first one for a foul.
The one thing I like so far about what I've seen of Walkerville today, though, Lee, is that first game that we saw them play after Christmas on a Wednesday night where Steph pitched, and they just put their bats away. They were too scared to swing, but they couldn't make up their mind whether or not they were protecting the zone or hitting. And she threw 13 strikeouts that night, and half of them were standing strikeouts.
Yeah.
At least today, the first innings they were swinging, and today, even in this innings, coming through the bottom part of the lineup, you know, there's at least a bit of bat on ball, and Steph's smart enough to realise that she can utilise her field and, you know, get some ground outs and so on. So hope that shows that there's been some learnings for the Cats, which is positive. Against Grauer and Elizabeth on Wednesday night. It's not going to get any easier.
No.
So
it's going to be coming at you. So, like you say, excellent point, Anthony. Learn from this.
Kelsey Barker swings through that one for a strikeout. That is a 1-2-3 innings.
yeah.
So we will be right back after a short break as we head to the top of the third. Also the Lana Kaesler leads things off in the top of the third. The West Torrens Eagles currently leading 2-0. On the mound for the Walkerville Cats is Michaela Yankovic. About halfway through the game. First one in the dirt for a ball.
Thanks for the shout out, Michelle. I hope that's better.
Second pitch in for a ball. That brings the count 2-0.
This is what pitchers do, don't they? Young pitchers, to get see somebody like Lana Case who can hit the ball over the fence and has. So you pitch her very carefully. Then you get way behind the count. Got a challenger here now, Michaela.
Lana Kaesler works the walk, and the streak is alive for the West Torrens Eagles at least. That is a lead-off base runner for every innings so far in the game. Brings to the plate Steph Cruzinski. That one in the dirt. Lana Kaesler advancing to second, taking a big lead off from second as she thinks about third, but making her way back. So, runner in scoring position for the West Torrens Eagles. With none out, Steph Cruzinski at the plate. Lana Kaesler up next.
So 349 for Steph on the season. 333 with runners in scoring position.
That's quietened down a little bit from the Christmas break, hasn't it? So once again, Walkerville Cats in a danger situation quite early in the innings. Steph Cruzinski watches that one for a strike. Didn't like herself for leaving that one be.
That's all right. Wasn't what she wanted, so...
1 ball, 2 strikes. Steph Cruzinski determined, fierce even. Watches that one for a ball. 2-2 is the count now.
That's a brave pitch.
Yes, it certainly was.
Yeah.
To somebody like her, she'll just keep her hands back and punish you. Kelsey Barker at left field better be ready because it's coming.
Swings through that one, and that is a huge strikeout for Michaela Yankovic.
Was it ever?
So still in the danger though, Kelsey Nucky stepping up to the plate, Baskai following after with a runner in scoring position, but Steph Cruzinski struck out.
Well, Kelsey got a very good piece of the ball first turn at bat. Caught out there by Kelsey. Kelsey to Kelsey. Can we get a double here? I'm going for it.
I think
another fly ball to Kelsey Barker.
Well, the Cats would like a double. I know that much right now. Get out of this innings.
Double play is still on offer, but not as easy as when you've got the force out going. Swings through that one, so it would need to be a bit of a specky catch by either second base or shortstop, you'd imagine. Catch the base runner off guard, thinking that it was, a guaranteed hit, and then throw back to second, catch them off base. Kelsey swings through that one. Of course, you could get the old unassisted double in this situation. So rather than throwing it to second, fielder could catch it and then just step on the bag themselves for an unassisted double.
We have seen some double plays in the last couple of weeks.
We have seen quite a few double plays.
Last week we saw
yeah.
the Sturt West Torrens game. There were double plays everywhere.
Yep.
Kelsey gets a piece of that one off foul on the left side.
It's heading left field.
Kelsey Barker is braced and prepared, ready
Yep.
for the inevitable Kelsey to Kelsey.
Well, you would hope so. Otherwise, I'm going to lose faith that you're...
Well, no, Lee's predicted it, so it's like 90% probability to transpire.
Come on, Michaela, throw something up in the air.
So Kelsey is on 2 strikes. That's the change up, a little bit low in the dirt. Kelsey not chasing after it.
A little bit short too, wasn't it? Gave her plenty of time to stay out of it.
Two count. That one a little outside, brings the count full. So do you want to hit, or are you okay with a walk in this situation?
Oh, I mean, Kelsey's reliable and does a good job.
Leaves the change up alone once again. Kelsey Nucky gets the walk. We now have runners on first and second with 1 out. Brings to the plate Danny Baskai, Mary Fuss following and after.
Yeah, runners at 1 and 2 with 1 out. Danny Baskai at the plate. That's a good thing for us. I would be happy with that. I've seen Danny hit some great shots on the right side of the diamond, especially behind the runners, which is what should be looking for here.
Already had a safe hit, the only turn at bat, Danny.
The one, sorry, go on, Dave.
Oh, and of course Mary Fuss following, who has wildly different numbers when there's a runner in scoring position. She just turns into a different batter in those situations.
Yeah, nearly doubles her average.
She's only interested in a hit if it's bringing in the glory.
The hardest thing for power hitters like Baskai and like what we saw Steph earlier in the innings is against this type of pace, is making the adjustment. You're not facing Steph Cruzinski, you're facing somebody different. And so it's just that ability to not just find the good pitch, but to get your timing right.
Baskai leaves that one for a strike.
And with your timing, it's about not necessarily having to hit the ball as hard as you want, as hard as you can. So, maybe that's an 80% swing method, thought process.
Patience. It's patience you need.
Yeah, more trying to visualise where you want to put the ball rather than just trying to, put it into the dog club every time you step to the plate. And that's why she's difficult to get away, because that's what she can do, Michaela, is she can mix up that pace so that 2 pitches might look physically the same, but the reality is they're getting to you at different speeds.
And having an excellent catcher like Robertson.
2-2 count. Gets a piece of that one. That is going to bloop in front of Kelsey Barker. Lana Kazler trips over third base. She was looking to go home, but instead will just step on third safely. Bases now loaded.
Back-to-back hits for Danny.
Yeah, and the one thing with that shot there is she didn't swing through that. Like, I don't know if we saw it on the leading team's replay, was that, she didn't actually follow all the way through that shot. So that's about that visualization of just trying to put the ball into play, or as you would say, Lee, on the green, forcing them to come up with something. So that's good batting, and that's what you expect from experienced players. But for the second time in 2 innings, we've got bases loaded.
1 out.
1 out, and the Eagles are here. So
Mary Fuss up to the plate. First pitch, change up a little bit short.
I would have thought she would have saved that for a little bit longer in the count, because that's how she got her last time, was on back-to-back change-ups. I thought she might have set her up a little bit more there.
Mary was ready for it, I think. Aaron Reid needed to come in on the pitch. That's the way. Well, this ball needs to be caught out there.
That one a little bit high.
Well, the good thing about Mary is obviously she doesn't have a huge strike zone, but the swing itself is quite compact but still powerful.
Yep.
So she's not overextending when she does hit the ball, but she still hits it quite hard. Just got to get her timing.
Swings through that one for a strike, brings the count to 2-1.
So that one was an overswing. She was trying to score 3 then.
Doesn't need to.
Scoring 1 is half the battle.
Yeah, but if you can.
It's nice.
Swings through that one as well. So that brings the count 2-2.
Identical swing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On the identical pitch too.
Yeah.
I'd throw it again there.
Yeah.
Because she's going to be going for it.
Well, that same pitch you got her in the first time.
She can't hold back.
Swings through that one.
Surprise,
1, 2, 3
surprise.
strikes. Mary Fuss retired And Walkerville looking to get themselves out of danger once again. Bases still loaded, but they had 2 outs. The ever dangerous bat of Carly Allen now steps up to the plate.
You see what I mean, Anthony? Yeah. I throw the same pitch again because she's going to be swinging at it. She did.
She was just swinging too hard.
Yeah, that's right.
342 batting average, but 467 runners in scoring position.
So excellent calling from catcher Robertson, Chelsea.
So Carly's already had a hit today. So this is very dangerous for the Cats. Carly up the middle here. She won't overextend. She'll just find space and put the ball there.
Carly Allen watches that one in for a strike as we hear the rescue helicopter taking off. Never had any interaction with that helicopter before in my life, have I, Lee?
Yes, you have. You can tell the story if you like.
No, that's fine. Oh, that one in for a strike.
I remember that. How long ago was that now?
That was
3 years?
I think that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The co-rescued party is actually switching this game as well, so. Oh, that one very high.
Risky pitch with the runner on third.
I think you can be penciled in as a daredevil, I think.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I think
so.
so.
That brings the count 2-2. That one in for a ball. The count is now full. Script kind of rewriting itself a little bit here. One more ball and they're just going to walk in another run.
Well, you hope that the script's not rewriting itself because the walk cost them a run last time, so you don't want to just keep on doing that.
Need to buy an out.
Carly Allen gets a piece of that one. It could drop, but tracking underneath it is Steph Collette, who makes the out, and Walkerville get out of that one without any damage.
That's what I mean about buying an out. Throw it up, try and see if they'll hit the fly ball to somewhere in the field, and they did. It's good.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like some of the more experienced players like Backside and Allen, you know, they're sort of going deep into counts, and some of the younger players seem to be sort of more swinging hard, trying to create the play. And as an even thing across the team, it's just not gelling. I mean, they're creating opportunities. I mean, they've loaded up two innings in a row, but the reality is they haven't got anything to show for it. Yep. So that'll come in time. It's just these games can feel a bit weird when you sort of know that you know how the season's played out. You're sort of now looking forward to next week.
Yep.
Don't want to do yourself a mischief and take yourself out, but at the same stage you want to try and play yourself into a lineup, you know, in front of your coach, especially on a day like today. So what Walkerville are going to do this innings is that last at bat of Kelsey Barker's, where she was swinging as hard as she could against Steph. She now needs to, you know, communicate that back, and obviously got her high. So I think we've got Erin Reid leading off the third, bottom three for the Cats here. So it's important that she just opens up her edges, you know that she's not going to get anything in the slot, and she's just got to work with, if it's an outside pitch, go with the pitch on the outside. If it's inside, you know, turn with it. Don't premeditate what's going on. Just try and react as best you can and work with what she gives you.
Swings through the first one for a strike. So Erin Reid, Jenny Gray are the 8 and 9 batter. One of those can get on base. Then you've got Chelsea Robinson, Steph Collette, Desi G. Morales coming up.
Well, Erin's one of only 3 hitters that's actually had a hit against Steph so far this season for Walkerville. But she's batting 154 and an on-base of 195. So first swing, she was beaten for pace clearly, so she needs to shorten it up.
Gets a piece of that one, scooped up by Mary Fuss. Throw to first for the out. So that brings to the plate Jenny Gray.
So Jenny Gray batting 196 for the Cats.
Ooh, that one in for a strike.
That last time she played Steph on that Wednesday night, she did go down looking a couple of times. But recently, in the last couple of weeks, she's had some good pieces of the ball. So she has sort of turned her form around a little bit.
Chases after that one for a strike. 0-2 is the count. Oh, 1, 2, 3 strikes. Jenny Gray is retired, and now Chelsea Robertson steps up to the plate with no one on base, 2 out. Steph Cruzinski looks pretty dialed in right now, doesn't she?
She does.
How are we going for strikeouts, Lee? We got a count?
We've got 5. 5 for Steph.
Oh, Chelsea Robertson gets a piece of that one, but it just flings foul on the left-hand line.
And 3 for Michaela.
So 5 and 9 hitters for Steph. So her normal percentage is about 80%. So she's just under.
Chelsea leaves that one wide for a ball. 1-1 is the count.
The good thing about Chelsea's first swing, even though she got jammed on the pitch, was at least there was an intent when she went to the plate to see the ball and actually throw her hands at the ball. Some of these other hitters, that's just a good pitch. Some of these other hitters, you can just see that they're swinging through on the release, but they're not actually, doesn't look like they're watching the ball.
No.
And that's why they're sort of, they're missing the ball by a foot. So it's, again, just trying to dial those things in and just get back to simple processes about, watching the ball onto the bat, make contact and force the field to come up with it.
I think if I was a young player or advising a young player coming to bat against somebody like Steph, I'd say get the face guard on your helmet. That'll give you the opportunity to keep your head still longer, for longer. Vicky McFarlane played here a few years ago. She was terrific at that.
Steph Cruzinski didn't quite know that she just struck out the side. So after 3, West Torrens still leading 2-0. We will be right back after a short break. Harper Bridley up to the plate as we start the 4th innings in this last regular season broadcast. Now, of course, over on Diamond 2 right now, we have Glenelg taking on Port Adelaide, but the top 4 is locked in, the top 2 are locked in, minor premiership is locked in, so we're just here for a bit of softball.
So just as Yankovic was doing her warm-up pitches, I just watched Chelsea throw the ball to second on the steal, Lee. It was a laser beam.
Yep.
That's why nobody runs on her.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, when we're looking at the Stars lineup especially, it's like there's so many, like we've got so many really good catches and also a lot of really good shortstops that it's just, sometimes it can just be a bit sad that you don't get to see them all necessarily.
At the same time?
Yeah, at the same time, just have two catches going. Oh, Harper Bridley gets a good piece of that one. Kelsey Barker is seeing a whole lot of action as she throws that one in. Leadoff runner, 4 in a row. Go West Torrens.
Everybody shouldn't be that surprised. I mean, she's batting 250 for the season. I mean, she has only had the 5 at-bats up until this point, but
that helps.
Hit number 2 for Harper for the season, so that's going to feel good.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
It's always tricky when you're reading into the stats and there's only been 4 at-bats so far. So up to the plate now, Amber Hood. Oh, pick-off attempt.
Well taken by Desi.
That's smart by Chelsea. That was already premeditated. She's got a young kid who's just made first, who's obviously doesn't spend a lot of time there, and she's just set that up to try and catch a nap. And so, smart work by Chelsea. I see that they've released the draw too for the Nationals, so I see that we've only got New South Wales on the Sunday morning, followed by Victoria in the main game that night. I think you can talk a lot about all the defensive lineups you want, but I think you'll find that whoever hits the ball well against New South in that game 1 will be putting themselves a long way to get a game 2, because if you can hit, you play, and then we'll work the field out thereafter.
The problem is when you play New South in any competition, juniors or seniors, that you play them first, you get their number 3 pitcher or 4 pitcher, and then you go off and you think, we did so really good.
Yeah.
Or you get in front, then they bring in their number 2 pitcher and shut
Amber
you
Hood
out
gets
of
a big piece of that one. That is going to drop in the gap, scooped up by Bianca Ramsey. Harper Bridley happy to take second base. Runners on first and second with none out. Once again, Walkerville are going to have to take the hard road to get out of this inning.
Yeah, danger.
So we talked before about the danger of throwing, if you're going to throw a change-up and it's not going to be what you want, it can't sit in the zone and it can't sit up.
Usually goes to a gap, and it usually goes deep, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Semi-deep, sort of.
To somebody that's batting 400 on the season, if you're going to throw a change-up and you make that mistake and it sits in the zone, that's what's going to happen to you.
That one in for a foul. I'm just going to try and manifest, since I did it with the step on third, throw to first double play. Have either of you gentlemen ever seen an unassisted triple? Unassisted triple play.
That'll be no from me.
No?
I know we gave up 3 runs against Western Australia at the Nationals, and they actually hadn't touched bat on ball.
Oh no!
I remember that, but I don't know what you're referring to. So.
Oh, so an unassisted triple play would need to be most likely Desi G. Morales, possibly Steph Collette. As this one comes in, here's the pitch. Puts the bunt down, scooped up by Sophie Roberts. Throw to first this time to take the guaranteed out. That is 1 down, runners in second and third. So unassisted triple, you would need a runner on first and second. You would need the hit and run call made. The ball would need to go into play and a rather spectacular catch would need to take place to the point that both of the runners are well and truly off of their bags. At that point in time, Desi G. Morales would be able to physically tag the runner from first advancing to second and then jump over and step on the second base bag to get the runner advancing to third. No one else touching the ball, triple play.
It's a lot of moving parts.
Oh, it is. It's probably the dullest thing that you could ever see. Like, you just look at it and like, did anything happen there? But it's one of the rarest plays that you can get in diamond sports.
I think maybe in baseball, there's more of a chance of that than there is maybe in softball. I mean, just because our base paths are so much closer, it all happens so much quicker.
Yep.
But if you like,
the runners would have to be going.
I was about to say the play you described, you've called the people out too, the people that would do it. So
That's my wish list. That one popped up, but that'll be foul. My wish list is to see an unassisted triple in either baseball or softball. Not terribly fussed, just... Of course, we did see a triple play last season with Hills Heat in a non-broadcast game, and I'm still salty about that one.
It's always the way.
If you're going to do a triple, do it when the cameras are out. That's all I ask.
Not much to ask.
Yeah, just triple plays in a broadcast game. I'm a simple man. I don't have...
Somebody said you were simple. I remember saying
that's
that.
very hurtfully.
Simple man, you said.
Runners on second and third. Here's the pitch. Gets a piece of that one, Lana Kaesler out to Kelsey Barker. That brings in one. Lana Kaesler staying on first. Amber Hood on second. Runners on the corners. Another run scored for the West Torrens Eagles.
So Steph's last at bat was
Strikeout.
a strikeout. So I'd be very interested to see, have we got stats on back-to-back strikeouts? Has that ever happened to Steph?
Surely not.
I would be suggesting that she would be
Out for redemption.
swinging early in the count here.
She definitely did swing early, but it was a very high pitch. Pickoff attempt is wild. Amber Hood will step on home plate, bringing in another run. West Torrens 4, runner on second.
The only problem I have with that play is that, in essence, it looked all right, but Lana Kaesler's no slouch running. That's the problem.
Second base wasn't effectively covered again, was it?
No.
No, but round 18, if you've got a 1-3 split and that's your defence that you're running, it's got to be sharper than that. You don't want to do that on Wednesday night.
Bunt laid down. Chelsea Robinson scoops it up, throws to first. Another play at third, trying to get Lana Kaesler off bag, but she sneaks back in safely. Sacrifice play by Steph Cruzinski. Who had money on that one?
Not me.
Or me.
So now with 2 out, we've got a runner on third. Stepping up to the plate is Kelsey Nucky.
Maybe they'll get out of this with only 1 run again. 4 innings played and 3 single runs.
Well,
maybe.
Obviously, the best outcome is that you don't have runs scored against you. But given that they've had runners in scoring position very early in each of their innings,
Yep.
they're doing okay getting out of these innings without too much damage piled on.
Well, correction, they've got 2 runs this innings.
Yeah, 2 runs this inning.
Yep.
But half of the Eagles' runs so far today have been done on a walk across the plate, a failed 1-3 split where the players jogged across the plate because of the ball in the dirt. I thought the other one was a pass ball over here on that side.
Yep.
So they've actually only batted in the 1 earned run for the day. And that's why Walkerville, even though they're 4th, are second when you look at the amount of runs they've given up for the season. Glenelg have given up 147 for the season. Walkerville have given up 133. The Eagles have given up 53. That's the gap. And the gap's 80 runs. I mean, that's insane.
Yep. Come on, Kelsey. Long ball to Kelsey.
I mean, the Cats are going into a game knowing they're going to give up 5.5 runs.
Yep.
And they're scoring 3 a game, and that's why they are 9-14. If they're going to... Good stop,
Good
Kelsey.
stop. Oh, just throws out for a... Sophie Roberts didn't seem terribly ready for that one.
She was not ready at all. Yeah, wow. It's just not what I'd be expecting from a side that's going to play for their season in 5 days' time.
That one in for a strike.
Win or loss aside, you just want some positive momentum. You want some to be upbeat. You want to be switched on.
Something to take away.
Yeah, just take some positives. But so far at the moment,
So they will be playing Port Adelaide on Wednesday, who they did face just last week and tied, if I'm not mistaken.
1-1.
1-1.
yeah. So this
And Johanna pitched, and she'll pitch on Wednesday, obviously.
yeah. So
Kelsey Nucky walks.
two of the losses that they've had against Port Adelaide this year, though, have been blowouts. So they lost 13-3 in round 1. They lost 13-3 in round 6. And then, as you say, they drew in round 17. And they lost the other one on a Wednesday night, which would have been against Port's second string. And they lost that 5-1. So Port go into that game, you know, 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. So there'll be no fear for Port there. And the advantage that Port have is that Port score. So
that one in for a ball.
Can she go 3 for 3, Danny?
That one high for a ball.
the thing I like about Danny Backside is that every time she's at the plate, you can see the intent.
Yep.
She's there to hit. So
chases after that change up. Desi G. Morales picks it up, scoops to shortstop Steph Collette to get the force out, but just wayward a little bit, and bases now loaded for the West Torrens Eagles. Would have thought you could have just stepped on it.
and West Torrens score another run.
Oh, yeah, of course. Lana Kaesler crosses the plate.
She's due, Mary, isn't she?
She's had a tough day so far.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I mean, you've got the likes of Mel McGee in the coach's box over here at first, so I can't imagine that she's going to be swinging for the fence after a couple of strikeouts.
With 2 down, Erin Reid needs to come right in nearly to the dirt, because if she goes anywhere, I think she's going to go to right field. Short.
So we're running low on time here. 5 runs, probably a big ask for Walkerville, but it's not unheard of. It was late in last season, wasn't it, Lee, where Walkerville managed to string together, what was it, 7 runs in the final inning?
Yep.
So they only just managed to avoid a mercy win. Then the game kept going for another 20 minutes, and then they ended up tying it.
On that wet night over there, Karen Dale was running the show. She was running bases, stealing bases. Yes, I remember that night. And then the next game was called off for the conditions, the atrocious conditions. Yep. Seems a long time ago now, Dave, doesn't it?
About a year.
Well, that's the correct time, but it seems a lot more than that.
That was the first time we ever actually broadcast a game over on Diamond 2 as well.
Yeah.
Mary Fuss gets a piece of that one, but it is foul.
That was the off-pace one. I wouldn't throw it again now. Not this turnip bat.
Looks like we're making some changes. Benedictson in for Basco. So I'm guessing they're not expecting, perhaps not expecting another innings.
Pleasure.
So we've still got 6 minutes until no new innings.
Walkerville got a bat yet, though.
Oh, yeah, true. We're at the top of the 4th. Yeah, so this will be the last innings. So Walkerville looking to get an out here and then string a whole lot of hits together. That one in for a ball. Watches that one for a ball, and Mary Fuss walks, loading the bases once again. Brings to the plate the ever-dangerous Carly Allen.
So Carly's had 3 opportunities today with runners in scoring position, so
5 base on balls now.
oh, that's a win for Mary Fuss. I mean, 2 strikeouts. Again, you know, took that count deep, so at least to get a walk there.
Watches that one in for a strike. That one in for a ball. So with each of these West Torrens batting innings, we've been focusing a little bit on Walkerville, but should we perhaps just focus a bit on West Torrens? So they have ticked over a couple of runs here, but for the most part, they have also been leaving a lot of runners stranded. Is that in any way a point of concern, perhaps?
It can be in a game. We've seen, haven't we, Anthony, over the years where you could have, I remember one grand final where West Torrens won 5-0, and I think they had 7 people only on base and scored 5 of them. That is a rarity.
Oh, here we go. Carly Allen gets a piece of that one, scores 1 run, everyone advances a base, and Carly Allen with an RBI.
Second hit for the game.
I mean, this just gives me memories of the most recent Australian Olympic campaign where we were perfectly capable of getting runners on base, but we only had 1 RBI for the entire competition, which was the home run, the solo home run. So, yeah, a lot of stranded base runners was a big problem for the Australian national team last Olympics.
And on reflection, when you look at your scorebook, then you say there was the problem, you know.
Harper Bradley gets a piece of that one. So, how many at-bats has Harper Bradley had now?
2.
All up for the season?
This is, I don't know.
6.
6. Yep.
So once you've hit 10, that's when your average is official. Put it in the stat book, usually for on-screen graphics. Chases after that one. You would have seen in the start of broadcast, we've now got the head-to-head that pops up. So the number of, it always shows hitters over 300, hitters over 400. That's with a minimum of 10 at-bats.
Yeah.
So she's not actually far away, though, from locking in this rather high average of hers. Gets a piece of that one.
Well, she's going to need West Torrens to go around the diamond 2 or 3 times
that's
in this
true.
game. If
yeah,
she's
she won't get it in regular season,
if
no.
she's going to get to 10 today. But, yeah, look, I mean, I think a 6-0 scoreline is probably indicative of where the game's at the moment. But the fact that West Torrens have only batted in 2 of those 6 runs.
Pops this one up, heading out to Kelsey Barker, who's backpedaling to get that one. I think she lost it in the sun. That brings in 1 run, it brings in 2 runs, it brings in 3. Harper Bradley with a stand-up 3 RBI double.
Wow.
That's how you don't leave base runners stranded, right there.
Well, that's the young player showing you how it's done. So that earn run count's suddenly gone from 2 to 5. So, but this is. I mean, I know. I take your point, Dave. I mean, obviously talking about Walkerville because obviously they've got the first game coming up on Wednesday night. But this is their issue, is the fact that they just give up, continually give up so many runs, and the offense just hasn't sort of fired. And today they've looked flat. They've made simple mistakes, throwing to base to nobody on a base. So, but yeah, on the positives for Harper to come in today and have a single, and then to hit a double and score 3, that's huge. So good job, Harper.
Yeah, she's done very well indeed.
So just a runner on second now. Still a runner in scoring position, though, as Amber Hood at the plate.
Yeah, and your point, Dave, about the runners in scoring position is well made because, I mean, West Torrens around about 80% of their runs are batted in. So they, they're a side that aren't just exploiting mistakes. They are actually, hitting them in. But you go back to that game where Sturt and West Torrens played in early February when it was Cruzinski versus Fidge, and it was tied up right late. West Torrens had left 7 base runners on in those first 3 innings and didn't come up with anything, and then ended up losing on the last innings. So, yeah, look, it's not a West Torrens problem. It's an issue across everywhere. I mean, it's one of those things you obviously always want to try and score, and it's not that easy, but it's about finding the way to do it consistently. I mean, and West Torrens do that, Sturt do that.
Amber Hood gets the walk. So runner on first and second as Alicia Marshing steps up to the plate. A good bit of a two-out batting here from the West Torrens Eagles.
They've been watchful all day. We've seen them throughout since probably Christmas, where they have gone either hard and aggressive or they've sat back and watched. I mean, today they've definitely been watchful.
Ooh, piece of the ball here. That's probably going to find a gap. It does. Steph Collette tries to make a play. Bases loaded. If Steph Collette got that in glove, she could have just gloved it, tapped the base.
Yeah, it wasn't going too fast, but it was off the handle, so.
So bases loaded.
"12 hits I've got."
On this innings?
No, in total.
All up. How many in this inning?
1, 2, 3,
It's going to
4,
get some
5, 6.
6 hits in this innings. How many all up again?
How many altogether? 12.
Yeah. So half of their hits have come from this inning.
We've seen this before, though, haven't we, with West Torrens? The time when they played Walkerville, and it was 1-0, and then Walkerville changed their pitch, and they had 10 people batting, 10 batters, faced the new pitcher, and I think 5 runs from 6 hits, or 6 runs from 5 hits, one of the two. So they can do it. The Eagles can do it. It's a matter of doing it when it counts, like the finals.
So stepping up to the plate now, Lana Kaesler with bases loaded. 2 out. This will be the last inning as we have reached time. Walkerville still with the right to reply. First one in for a ball.
This is the 13th batter in this innings.
Harper Bridley might be on for those 10 at-bats.
Yeah, it's a lot of batters, isn't it?
Chelsea Robinson keeping the base runners honest. That one in for a ball. 2-0 is the count.
Well, she started the innings, Harper, batting, and she's got 2 safe hits in the 1 innings. You'd take that any day of the week.
Gets a piece of that one. It is popped up high. Tracking it is
Jenny Gray.
Jenny Gray. Oh, I couldn't tell where that one was, but Walkerville get out of the inning. It is 9-0 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Walkerville needing to score 10 to win it, 9 to tie it. Both outcomes probably not wildly likely.
No, you just want to see some good at-bats from Walkerville now. Like it's the game hasn't, like it's the game as soon as the Hills game before became the loss there to Sturt, means that Walkerville were guaranteed in the 4. The game became meaningless from that perspective from the ladder, but to actually get something positive out of it, at the moment, I would be struggling to see what that is. So they need to just have some good at-bats against the best pitcher in the state at the moment, and try and take something positive into their training session as they build up for Port Adelaide, because they will want to put this result behind them pretty quickly and freshen up and take Port on completely differently.
So, stepping up to the plate, first will be Steph Collette, Desi G. Morales, then Sophie Roberts.
This is Steph's only second bat?
Yes.
Yep. Steph has only faced 10 batters.
So that being said,
an
this is the productive part of the the Walkerville batting lineup. So hopefully we can see a couple of good hits. Steph Cruzinski staying in the circle for the final inning. First pitch low. Steph Collette leaves that one be. Gets a piece of that one. That is going deep into the outfield. Up against the fence, Steph Collette standing on second, looking at third. Note she'll head back to second. A monster hit from Steph Collette, a stand-up double for the Cats.
Yeah, great relay by West Torrens, but an even better hit by Steph.
First safe hit for them.
Yep, hitting the ball on the up. I noticed that, is it Benedictson that's at left field instead of Backside?
Yep.
So
Yes.
when Backside was coming, she came off, she was holding her arm. I don't know if I'm reading anything into that, but I hope that she's hasn't done an injury.
Yeah, okay. Might have been just giving her a rest, perhaps, just to give Riley a bit of a go out there.
So Walkerville Cats with a runner in scoring position, none out. Set the task to bring her home will be Desi G. Morales, Sophie Roberts, potentially Riley Moore. Desi G. Morales gets a good piece of this one, but it is foul on the left-hand side. See, not against a 9-0, but if they could have kept West Torrens to about 2, then that's where Walkerville can be quite dangerous. They can string together a couple of big hits late.
That's their issue. It's the consistency.
Desi G. Morales leaves that one be for a ball. Two balls, 2 strikes is the count. Leaves that one be for a ball, full count. That's a dangerous leave, that one there.
That's very brave this time of the day.
So, full count for Desi G. Morales. Oh, fouls that one off. Count stays full.
So far in 16 innings over 4 games, Steph's given up against Walkerville. She's given up 5 hits for 33 strikeouts. So Steph Collette's hit was very impressive.
Desi G. Morales leaves that one for a walk. Runners on first and second now with Sophie Roberts stepping to the plate. And the unassisted triple is back on the table.
You can have money with me.
So Sophie Roberts, this is what her role is in the lineup, is to score runs and bat people in. She's obviously somebody that's really talented. Since Christmas, she came back from Christmas with a 320 average, which has dropped to 295. And her runners and scoring positions also dropped about 20 points. But this is what she's in the lineup for.
That's what happens. That one high. That's what happens. You get a call initially when your first pitch comes down. You don't agree with the call. You're going to be swinging at the next one.
Yeah. No
matter where it is.
0-2 is the count.
The very best players do that.
Leaves that one be. Lana Kaesler wanted it, but it is a ball.
Lana Kaesler wants everything.
She really does, doesn't she? But you want Lana Kaesler on your side. You want that energy coming behind you. 1-2 is the count. Swing and a miss. Sophie Roberts strikes out. You would have thought that moving in a little bit from third base to shortstop should be getting better looks at the pitches as they come in, but...
That's 2 strikeouts today for Sophie Roberts.
Mm-hmm. Riley Moore up to plate now. Swing and a miss. So that's 1 out on the inning, yep.
That's the first out.
Yep, first out, yep. That one low and in the dirt.
This is what I mean. You get 2 runners on. What about a hit and run or a double steal? Just try something different.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Steph is just going to strike you out. 1, 2, 3. That's what I was saying about what, as a coach, you should be thinking all the time that nothing's happening. Let's make something happen. Let's at least try something.
Gets a piece of that one off foul.
But that last shot just there where she's fouled off, that's more what I'm interested in seeing. Where Steph is completely dominant in the middle, but we're still sending hitters to the plate to have full cuts at the ball.
Yep.
And that's what I just don't, and I've just struggled with the dominance. So,
chases after that one for a drop third strike. Steph Collette caught in a rundown. And she gets back safe, but Riley Moore out on the strikeout because a drop third strike doesn't count if there's a runner on first. So a bit of shenanigans, but all in all, it's a Riley Moore strikeout. 2 out on the inning, runners still on first and second. Stepping up to the plate now with the task of bringing in an RBI is Bianca Ramsey. Having her second at-bat for the day. That one in for a ball.
That had some heat on it.
Yep.
I don't know where the gun, I don't know if we've got if we had a gun, but that was fast.
Well, sometimes we do have a gun. We haven't seen it for a while.
Swings through that one. 1-1 is the count.
So Bianca Ramsey batting 250 for the season. So she's 9 from 36. Just got to cut that swing down.
Gets a piece of that one. It has popped up. Tracking it is Kelsey Nucky. Shielding her eyes from the sun. Makes the catch. And just like that, Walkerville are out. That ends the game. West Torrens 9, Walkerville 0. That's the second time I've tried saying Nero. I think I'm jumping between 0 and 0.
You didn't get your triple play either.
I didn't get my unassisted triple play, but I've just got to keep putting that energy out there, and eventually we'll see it.
You weren't born in Italy, were you?
No,
Keep
no,
saying
certainly.
Nero all the time.
Certainly wasn't.
I'm just asking.
All right, so in a game that didn't mean much, West Torrens score 9. leaving a lot of base runners stranded early, but more than making up for it in the fourth and final innings. Walkerville, one stand-up double, but other than that, not much production with the bat. Quite a few mishaps and errors in the field. Hopefully they can straighten that out a little bit, because that was the last regular season game. On Wednesday, we have the elimination final. Walkerville Cats taking on the Port Adelaide Magpies. Winner will progress through to the preliminary final. On Saturday, the top two clash, Sturt Falcons taking on the West Torrens Eagles. Every time those two teams face each other, there is fireworks. The winner of that straight through to the big dance, the grand final in next Saturday. Gentlemen, do we dare put a little prediction out there in the universe?
I've since we've come back from Christmas, Lee's been saying West Torrens, I've been saying Sturt, and I think obviously there's some injuries at the moment that are going to some sort of cloud that, but I'm still, from what I've seen today, what I've seen the last couple of weeks, I still think that that's probably still the case. I still think that's how it'll end up.
Sturt's defense is very strong.
Yeah, and but their offense, they're bottom four as well, and they're just well oiled. They don't get flustered, and they've been super impressive. But West Torrens, as Lee's said many a time, if their bats are on, and if you've got Steph Cruzinski in the middle throwing like that, then it's going to be a very tough ask. It's going to be a really exciting game. But to be honest, I'm really looking forward to Wednesday night. I hope that Walkerville can go away and in the next 3 or 4 days regroup and just come with what they obviously bought last week and just try and get them on the up week, because if they're not, Port Adelaide could make very short work of them, and even that bodes well to be an interesting game going forward. So, but
yeah, Lee.
Well, I've said all I've said before Christmas about West Torrens. It's mainly because of Steph. And also, we saw today, and we've seen it before, when their bats get together and start hitting balls all together, the runs come quick and fast. And that's the danger. You can shut them down, but Sturt's going to take a lot of beating. Don't get me wrong. They're a fantastic side. That's why they finished top. Because they're a very good side. Well,
the one standout thing there is that in the 2 games that Millie hasn't pitched against West Torrens since Christmas, so Straps won and then Ruby Fridge in the second game, West Torrens only scored 1 in both of those games. Yep. So, I mean, I'm not suggesting that that's just what's going to happen in a semi-final with everything that's going on, but I think there's some depth to Sturt. I just think there's they've just got that game that's ready to sort of take it through. So,
Sturt, I say this often, of course, but Sturt, they've got all the bases covered.
Yep.
The bottom of the lineup, people like Matty Ashby starting to get hits, looking more comfortable now at this level. And then, of course, Indy Baxter Silver wasn't there today, so she's a plus to come back from. But they'll take some beating.
Yeah, but as you say, Steph Cruzinski is going to have a huge say in how this final plays out, because if she's on the mound like, throwing like she was today, that's even against the best hitting lineup in the league, which is Sturt. That's going to make their job very, very tough for the day. So, but yeah, at the moment, we'll get ready for Wednesday night, and that'll be interesting, because you'd assume that Grauer would come down for
Grauer will be down.
So, you're going to get a full strength. And we've always said this about Port all season. We haven't really seen them full strength, but, I'm really hopeful that we get to see them full strength on Wednesday.
I think the few games where we have seen them with everyone in their lineup, they are something powerful and something special.
Yeah, for sure. So looking forward to Wednesday night. So the Cats can definitely regroup. They drew last week with Port. They were leading West Torrens 2 weeks ago. Today wasn't obviously their day, but hopefully they take some learnings from that.
Yeah, nothing hinges on the game except learning from that.
Right, well, thank you, gentlemen, very much, and thank you, everyone, for watching. We will be back on Wednesday for the start of the Softball South Australia preliminary Premier League finals with the elimination final. We will see you then.